How we doing?
He said, what did he say?
Bugatti
told us to be
juice.
prepared.
Math is math. Schwiggity schwaggity. Previously on Kimba TV. Okay, so if you're somebody that thinks the settlement and value area high is gonna be like good support or that's bullish, then you either market smashed or you're waiting for the bullish retest. The stop loss on the scalp long would be the lower low because you're basically playing a failed auction or a swing fail, excuse me. How we doing? All right, ladies and gentlemen, 5 more minutes. Y'all ready to juice? Easy money. Ramses, you good? Petrus, you good? Buzzo, you good? Everybody ready to go? Hey, preparation meeting opportunity. That's how you juice in life, chat. Everybody prepared? Let's do it. All right, well, happy hunting, Lions. We got 5 more minutes. Let's go, easy money. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go, chat. Bugatti money, chat. Bugatti money, chat. Let's go, easy money. Let's go. Ja, ja, ja. Easy money. Let's go, easy money, chat. Let's go, easy money, yeah. Easy money, let's juice. Let's go, easy money, chat. Ja, ja, ja. Let's go. Juicy fruit, ho. I said juicy fruit, ho. Let's go. Stop the music, stop the music, stop the music. Camilo says so go long. If you didn't have a plan today, don't even trade, Camilo. Yeah, but we already went over the plan yesterday. You don't remember the whole talk about leave it for today? Yeah, so all we're doing is just a continuation off of yesterday. We're looking for bullish retest. So that's one category. That's one category. But yeah, we're waiting for the bad highs to get cleaned. Yeah, so what you want to do, Camilo, don't worry about trading today. CPI happens every month. What you want to do is make sure that you're competing. So what was the type of preparation that you did? Because I have like 12 DMs from brand new traders, people like you that joined this week. You know, they were asking, hey, should I go and watch the previous CPI highlights? You know, hey, what is the preparation that I need to do? You know, so if your brain couldn't even think about, let me at least watch the previous CPI highlights to see what to expect. Let me take a look at, let me Google the previous CPI days and let me look at the charts. That's what you want to juice up on is you're not even ready to trade. Your preparation might be complete ass. You might not even be competitive in the preparation stage. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't even try to trade, Camilo, if you don't have a plan. All right, but every stuff like this, it's already discussed days in advance. So if you're trying to figure out what to do today, just get caught up on yesterday's. All right. But the biggest thing that you want to be self-aware and self-honest with is where are you compared to your competition, right? Because there was like 12 people DMing me yesterday, all these brand new traders talking about today's going to, you know, tomorrow, because it was yesterday, tomorrow's going to be my first CPI. You know, this is what I'm doing to prepare. Is this good enough? That's what you want to make sure that you did well today. You don't want somebody else out competing you, out wanting you. That's the biggest juice for a day like today. Preparation, meeting opportunity, that's how we juice. That's the whole thesis of being a lion. So there's no way in life or in trading where you can juice without being prepared. And that's what you want to take pride on. So how, you know, what was your brain able to think of and do on your own organically without anybody telling you? That's your competitive edge right there. So if your brain couldn't even think about, hey, let me go back and take a look at the previous CPIs, you got to wake the fuck up. Make sense? And that might be the biggest juice you'll have today. All right. And then what you want to do is next month when it's CPI, you do a much better job of being prepared. And that's how you get better. And that's the journey of being a lion. All right, big dog. Let's get nasty, chat. Let's juice it Up! Gorgadu says FOMC will be another nothing burger as long as you've been paying attention and keeping track of the CME probabilities, right, Gorgadu? I mean, I think personally, I think it could be a shit show if they decide to increase rates. Yeah, I mean, it's not even a possibility of rate cuts, right, Gorgadu? It's either the same or there's like probabilities are growing that it might actually increase, right? Crazy. Yeah, make sure you keep an eye on that shit. We've been tracking that pretty much every day. Imagine we are leaving bad highs for the FOMC. Probably not. But let's see, man. Yeah, you know what I would like? Now that the initial move was up first, now I'm kind of thinking we might get that pixel perfect Fibba Boo Boo. Can you imagine if I get another pixel perfect Fibba Boo Boo? Is it Fibonacci? Or is it Fibonacci? Okay, so DJ H says, oh, tasty. What's going on Monday? What's going on? Aim Talk says, where should I be looking for a long entry? Well, make sure you rewind, Aim Talks. I gave the 3 levels. The one that I would have really liked was there. It's also the point of control on CME, but it may have front ran it. I don't know. Yeah. So what we marked out in the morning was this. I mean, obviously a swing fail of this. We talked about that. I mean, the levels hasn't changed since last night, Aim Talks. So that, and this. Okay, but maybe it front ran the 7.5 and the point of control. I don't know. You know, we're already above a settlement and value area high. So maybe, I mean, I just feel kind of bad. Aim Talks, where's my long at? As somebody with a long from here, did you see my entry, Aim? You know what my entry is. As somebody with an entry from here, if I feel bad being like, maybe you have to fucking do this. So yeah, but we're still aiming for but yeah, we're above VWAP or excuse me, not VWAP. Well, yeah, we are, but we're above settlement and value area high right now. And VWAP and settlement and value area high literally all lining up on the same place. Aim Talk says, I'm sadly late. You are starting a bit earlier. Since that, I'm missing the beginning. Gotcha, no worries. But you knew that I was starting earlier, right? I said that I was going to start earlier. I even was going to try to start a little bit earlier than I started. But today was CPI, obviously. So we wanted to be here for CPI, right, Aim Talks? Saudry says, do you think that BTC will down again enough to try to play at the major league like 103 or 105? Anything is possible, Sadri. It doesn't matter if I think something is going to happen. It doesn't matter if you think it's going to happen. It doesn't matter if I don't think it's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you don't think it's going to happen. It does not give you an excuse to not be prepared and at least have a plan. It's not I have a plan for it going to 103. It's if it goes to 103, this is the data that I'm going to look at, and this is how I will decide if I should take a long there or not. Okay? We're at 110 right now. What are all the levels between 110 and 103 or 105 or whatever you're curious about that if it loses it, right, you can take a look at it and say, okay, that increases the chances or decreases the chances. So for example, okay, for me, the next level that I would be looking at is like the 109, 108. You can see it, right? It's the sub range, this range, point of control. Okay? Do you understand that when we did the fixed range volume profile, right? So that's my next level, right? So I would be thinking to myself, okay, if we lose this level, what are some things that would increase the chances or decrease the chances of being able to get 105 or 103? So, first things, if it loses it and it's a swing fail pattern, does that increase your chances or decrease your chances that it's going to go down here? What if you lose it and you do a bearish retest and you do a lower low? When that lower low happens, does that increase the probabilities of getting this or decrease the probabilities of getting this? Why wouldn't you just make it easy on yourself and just do that? That's what I do. And motherfuckers think like, wait, how do you Like, that's literally all I'm doing. So I don't know. How could anybody possibly know? I would just say that you have to identify levels to the upside and to the downside on multiple time frames. So I don't know if you were here earlier in the morning, and I don't. Did you watch my stream at the end yesterday? Azaz probably has a clip. I drew two fibs. I drew this one, and I drew this one. This is the last fib that we drew. So I wanted this to be able to long. And this is the box that we drew in the morning. Okay, but they bounced off of the golden pocket and they went. Yeah, so I think what you need to do is just take it step by step and level by level. Okay, what I wanted was a bank. I wanted the swing fail off of 7.5 pixel perfect. I think I shouldn't have fucking drawn the box because then I feel like that's why the market makers fucking front ran us. But yeah, we're aiming for all-time highs. The only way that it could kind of maybe fuck you up is the last thing that we talked about yesterday was save this shit for tomorrow, which is today. And let's see if that's an SFP. But I think that we should have enough to maybe go all the way up there. It's gotta be testnet. What about there? You know, I already ran hypotheticals on what my like that long would be if we actually do end up going here, here, and here, right? We did 3 hypotheticals. What my PNL would be here, here, and here. Boy, quit playing with me. Mr. Twindy says, what did it mean you said something about 17 million? Somebody longed 17 million with an average entry of around $110,076.80. So there's a $17 million long open somewhere around here. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say it's like 110,000. He's still underwater right now. So if the price gets above 110, then he is now not underwater. So do you understand that it's a little bit better to take a long after all of the underwater longs are out? Does that make logical sense to you, Twindy? That guy is underwater right now. And if he's gonna close his long in the red or his long gets stopped out or liquidated, what does that do? He's gonna market sell, right? Make sense? So instead of trying to predict if he's going to get stopped out or not, or if he's going to get away with it, because that's the wrong game. That's what most retail will try and sit there and guess. That's not what you're supposed to do, right? You need to have a plan for both. So first things first, taking any long attempts while you have that much in underwater is not an advantage to you. Do you understand? Because you're going to be hopping on a boat that's already leaking. Because the minute that he feels like it, whether it continues to go lower or maybe he wants to close it at break even, but he's going to market sell. Remember, every long that you see open has a commitment to sell. That's why you need to understand everything a lot from a backwards perspective. Okay? Every time somebody opens a long, let's say that the price is doing this and somebody opens a long here. You have to look at that long as a market commitment to sell. Okay? He's hoping he can sell up here or up here. Okay? But whether it's a voluntary stop loss or a forced liquidation, he's gonna sell at some point. Make sense? So longs are just market commitments to sell, and shorts are just market commitments to buy. Does that make sense, brother? City says, if there is enough spot pressure, it does not matter though, correct? It depends on the volume, does it not? And that's when you start to compare CVD divergences on spot, on Coinbase versus someplace like Binance or Bybit. And if you really want to get nasty, take a look at the CVD divergences on CME. All right. Seza says, why is it bad if there are a lot of longs? No, you're wrong. Why is it bad if there are a lot of underwater longs? And it's not about longs or shorts. It's about why is it bad if there are a lot of underwater positions in general? Okay, because let's say, for example, that I am in a long from here, like that guy. I have a $17 million long, okay? And I'm losing money. Okay? And whether you know it or not, maybe my stop loss is right here. Maybe my stop loss is right here. But let's say that you're going to pull a fib from here to here and you end up longing right here. Okay? If it does this, then awesome. Right? But even if it does this, I have to close this. So there's going to be $17 million of selling pressure somewhere. If this goes like this and you're in the red as well, you're fucked, because if I decide to close my $17 million, I'm going to market smash short $17 million. Now you're at a risk of this happening to you. But what you guys think about all this? We basically got a failed auction on S&P. If you've been watching, stop the music for a second. Stop the music. How many of y'all been rocking and rolling with me long enough to know that we've had these 6036, 6018 lines for quite some time? And we've had many shorts, right? Where we kind of identified 6036 as like the last level where we would think about shorting until, until the next single prints get grabbed. So doing a failed auction off of 6036, I think that's like a no-brainer. It did the bearish retest from a horizontal and a diagonal perspective. So now all we need is for this golden pocket to not hold. Jiminy Christmas. I would love it. Even if it didn't, even if it just SFP'd and went to 1.25 and bounced right back in, I would be okay with it. But come on, man. But it's been fun to watch all this shit live though, right? Oh man, I love that we got to see this shit together and I'm not just like talking to myself in this room just going, I got you. 8 minutes, let's go. 8 minutes on the 30-minute. Yeah, my bet is already made, so I would like to see a lower low right there on S&P, but not going to try to make any. I mean, golden pocket at least is holding. God damn. Yeah. How do you like them levels though, man? Like these levels are valid or not? And if you think they are, then I hope you got to see how I define them because you can use them anytime. So it's nice to be able to say, like, hey, above here will be bullish, or if this happens here, then this is how I would chase it, or, you know, if it's really bearish, it would have to do this. Lemotard says, should I enter Kimba Lurk? It depends. What do you want to do? You want to take a scalp long? I still think waiting down there at 107.7 and 107.4 is Gucci Magucci. If you missed yesterday's stream and you have no idea what the 107.420 is, you definitely need to rewind and get caught up, because understanding that it's the 1.618 target and the fact that it already fucked the 1.1 pixel perfect kind of puts things into perspective on where you need certain price action to react. So, yeah, we thought maybe the 1088 level would be good, but I don't think this is going to be good. So the next level would be 107.4 to 107.6. Okay, if for some reason this is actually going to be Gucci Magucci, then it should start to spend time above the point of control. So, like, if you don't know how I have that red dotted line right there, that'll also kind of probably throw you off, because that's a significant level in and of itself. Building value above or below that would mean that it's going to rotate to the value high or value area low. What do you guys think? Everybody with me? Everybody knows what that red line is, yes? What about that 108 golden poquito? And last but not least, the 1.618 extension at 107.4, but also the range value area high at around 107.7. There's also a naked point of control. Lots of shit down there. You know what it is. It's confluencia, ho. It's confluencia, ho. Lempy says, are we waiting for Rocket Launchpad? No, I think there's an opportunity somewhere in like the 107 to 107.7 zone. Yeah, but we've been waiting for that bitch since yesterday. So hopefully you kind of already have that. But yeah, I mean, beyond that, you're probably thinking 104, 105, right? Yeah, but let's not get too caught up. I don't want you to just think just because there's a box there that we're going to be like automatically blind limit longing. You know what I mean? The plan is, yeah, we're interested in longing that hoe, but yeah, we definitely want all of these longs stopped out, right? Or at least a good chunk of them. 46 million still underwater. Atlantia, let's go. Atlantis, let's go. Jason Momoa. Manor MJ says they are waiting for you to leave. That could be possible. Okay, all right. Well, they're gonna wait for this bitch till tomorrow now. Okay. 12 minutes left. Katri! Mo Guy says, how much of those $50 million underwater longs would you like squeezed out? At least half. At least. All would be awesome. Bottom shorters would be great. Really though, I think we're all pretty much wanting a hidden, is there anybody that would actually take a long if there's no hidden CVD bull div? What's the most important thing that you would want to see? And there's really no right or wrong, I don't think. All right. Hey, love you guys. Stay safe. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shorters, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. Can you guys give it up for Houston and Cage? At least they're going to hold it down, so it's not like you guys are going to be alone if it is going to try to take a shot, especially after daily candle close, because what you would want is for the daily to close one place, so you kind of have like a landmark, and then clean it and then go back. And then depending on how volatile or how juicy if it is going to actually work, there might also be a bullish retest of daily open tomorrow. You guys know what I'm talking about. So if you do get a nice little bounce and you're lucky to do it, try to pull fibs and try to figure out and project where that golden pocket 7.5 is going to line up on that daily open bullish retest. Probably going to be something like that. So do your best. All right. Can we give it up for Houston and Cage? Love you guys. Stay safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. Bugatti. Catch ya.